Hi kids, this is Pastor Brian. I think you might know that this Sunday coming up is Palm Sunday. We remember Jesus riding into Jerusalem on the donkey and the people waving the palm branches, laying down their cloaks and shouting Hosanna. And so for story time today, I thought I'd read an old book that my parents would read to me a long, long time ago. It's called Jesus Rides into Jerusalem. Deborah and her brother James were playing very hard. They suddenly looked up to see two tall men in the yard starting toward the donkeys, tied up by the wall. "Could we help you, sir?" said James. "Have you come to call?" James stood up and wiped his hands. Deborah stood up too. What did these men come here for? What were they going to do? "Your donkeys, son," the first man said. "We've come here to get them." "No," Deborah said emphatically. "James, we mustn't let them." "You mean you want to buy them, sir? The smaller one's our pet. He's growing stronger every day, but hasn't been ridden yet. He's very shy and timid still. Noises make him fearful." Meanwhile, Deborah, upset, was starting to get tearful. "You'll have to ask my father, but we'd hate to let them go. We want to keep the mother too. I hope our dad says no." "Children, you don't understand." The second man was kind. "The master needs them right away. We know that you won't mind. We wouldn't buy your donkeys. We'd only like to borrow. The master will return your pet today, perhaps tomorrow." "These are the very animals the master sent us here. What was foretold will be fulfilled. The prophet's words are clear. He may have asked your father first, so please, my dears, don't worry." Meanwhile, the donkeys were untied. The two men were in a hurry. Deborah quickly dried her eyes. The men had sounded nice. In fact, they looked to her as if she'd seen them once or twice. "The Master," she asked thoughtfully. "Is Jesus Christ his name? I sat upon his knee one time. Is that who?" "Yes, the same." "Of course, we'll gladly loan them then. Oh, James, that will be fine. To think the master wants to use a pet of yours and mine." They patted their small animal, the mother donkey too, and rubbed the colt's soft ears again, as he liked them to do. "Goodbye," James whispered tenderly to his little pet. "The master needs you, so be brave and good. Now don't forget." Across the road and down a ways lived Aaron and his brother. As the two men started out, they yelled something or other. Deborah couldn't hear the words, only the reply. "The master has need of them," one said. "Then take them, if that's why." An hour or two afterwards, Deborah and James heard suddenly some mighty shouts and stopped playing their games. They rushed out to the roadway. Yes, coming down the hill were multitudes of people, shouting with a will. "I've never seen such crowds before," said Deborah, amazed. "They're shouting out hosannas. Who on earth is being praised?" As they watched and listened to the happy thronging crowd, the singing and the praising God came closer, grew more loud. People waving branches of palm trees they'd cut down. It looked like they were going to make a pathway through the town. With branches from the trees and cloaks, they spread them on the way. Some very special person must be coming through today. The dusty road was covered now with scarlets, blues, and green. If we're watchful, I am sure this person may be seen. "Hosanna in the highest! Son of David, he is called." The grown-ups were excited, and the children were enthralled. "Who is it?" But the answer came as he rode into view. Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth, on the donkey that they knew. "Hosanna!" James joined the crowd. "Hosanna!" Deborah shouted. And the master smiled for them just then. They never after doubted. "Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord," still rang the joyous songs, as gradually the multitudes became more distant throngs. "To think," the children said in awe, "our pet, the master rode. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, became his first full load." Well, that's the end of our story. You remember at the beginning, James and Deborah weren't too sure that they wanted to give their donkeys to someone else to use. And sometimes it can be hard to give the things that we have to others. But as they realized that it was Jesus that had need of them, then they became excited and happy to give. Well, the things that we give to others, we learned if you were with us for the Ronnie Wilson's gift, that's actually like giving to Jesus. We can serve Jesus by giving to others in need. And so if we can remember that, then maybe we can give happily too. So I hope you are doing well while we're all having to stay home a lot. And I'm looking forward to see you again soon. And hope you can celebrate Palm Sunday with your family. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.